our session number 13. So it's time to get those cheekbones nice and sharp. Same process as everything else I've been doing. Damien standard brush, clay buildup brush. This one, I think I did the entire cheek part from level 1 detailing to level 2 detailing all in one go, because I wanted to keep the surfaces relatively flat, relatively open. So it wasn't going to go crazy with the little wrinkles and cracks that I've been doing on a lot of the other surfaces. So this session was complete as compared to some of the other ones. So here, just cleaning up some of the forms that match up with the rest of the piece, and going back and flattening some bits with the trim dynamic brush, which is great if you want to flatten out a surface very quickly. The trim dynamic brush will just go and make it as flat as you want it. Again, I do the trick of using a very wide radius on the Damien standard brush and then using a light pressure to get some subtle creasing in there. I don't know how well that will print out on a 3D printer. I don't know if I have to cut deeper into the wrinkles. So it'll be interesting to see what the results are when I get a print of this stuff. In many ways, this is sort of an experiment to see what I can get away with and what types of details I need to push a little bit further. Changed material just because I like to see what I'm working on. Here I'm sketching in like a little crack, as if these were separate plates that interact with each other. And that got fused, like bone fuses. Fusey bone! And most of this is, all of this in fact, all the detail level layers are being sculpted asymmetrically, because even though the cheekbones are pretty symmetrical, I wanted the details to be asymmetric. Just checking to see how they look all the way together. More creases. Level 2 detailing, there's a lot of Damien standard brush at a smaller radius, so I can make those dramatic slices into the geometry, into the figure and stuff. Making those cracks a little bit more cracky. A lot of incremental changes. So even though this has been compressed down to 5 minutes, it doesn't look like a whole lot was done, but it's a lot of small changes here and there that add up to what you see when we finish. Creases and creases and more creases and a little bit of more creases, and it's pretty much how it goes when it's time to detail stuff. Right now I'm adding a little bit of texture where the bones meet up, and here I'm using that rock texture that I've been doing on all of the flat surfaces, or not flat surfaces, but the longer planes that don't have that much detail. So I'm using that rock alpha to kind of break up that form a little bit. Here doing some clay buildup and knocking it back with the smooth, and just rounding some forms out, rounding some of these creasy things a little bit more. And here we go, we fit it all in place, checking some shadows to see how they look overall. I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out, adding a little bit more detail on the side, because I felt like that could have used a little bit more oomph to it. Not too much stuff, but just a little bit more sharp details. And trying out a bone material, different angles, checking the shadows. And here you go. Here is a keyshot render, so you can see both the front side and the back side. And that's pretty much it for the cheeks. Next time, it's gonna be all about the horns. So, if you enjoyed this stuff, please consider contributing or becoming a patron on my Patreon thing, which is there. And if you like this video, please subscribe and share and tell all your friends about Zbrush and how amazing it is. And I think, yeah, next time it's all about the horns. All right, see you later. Come on! Ah!